Welcome to the Citizen Legislator class, brought to you by New Jersey's largest civic empowerment organization. Since 1999, the Citizens Campaign has brought together the state's leading local government experts, both Democrats and Republicans, to empower thousands of citizens to solve problems and get results in their towns and school districts, all with one common purpose: to make their communities work better and cost less.
Hi, thanks for joining us. I'll bet you didn't know that you don't need to be an elected official to get things done. But the good news is, in the next 10 minutes, I'll show you how you can find proven best practice solutions and present them in ready-to-adopt form to your town council or your school district. Whether your issue is property taxes, after-school education, the environment, or public safety, I'll show you how, as a citizen legislator, you can get results on issues you care about beginning in your own hometown. But first, let me introduce you to a citizen legislator from the city of Camden. Her name is Tamara Marsh, and she took this course and saved her city $5 million.
Tamara Marsh is a successful citizen legislator from Camden who got her town council and school board to adopt best practice insurance and save her town of Camden nearly $5 million.
So easy to blame someone for things not being done, but municipal government doesn't always have all the answers, and they have to rely on ordinary citizens like myself. So I'm Tamara Marsh, and I'm proudly from Camden, New Jersey. And I've got 5 million reasons why you should listen up. With the help and assistance of the Citizens Campaign, I introduced a bill to look at insurance best price practice and reform for the city of Camden.
Now, there are hundreds of people who've taken the same course that Tamara did and had success as a citizen legislator. And get this, there's only 4 things that you need to know to be a successful citizen legislator yourself. So let's get started. The first one is to know your rights. Now, that's easy. I wrote a book called The Citizen's Manual. It contains every right that you need to exercise in order to access the power levers of local government. And there are 2 of them that are very important to you. They're contained in Chapter 7 and 8 of this book, which you can download for free from our website. The 2 rights that you need to know to be a successful citizen legislator are the right to get information. It's called the Open Public Records Act, also known as OPRA, and the right to present your own proposal, which is in the Open Public Meetings Act, known as OPMA. Now, let me tell you how it works. Tamara, for example, filed an OPRA request with the city council clerk in the city of Camden. She got the form for it right off of our website, just filled it in, submitted it, and she got information that prepared her to make a presentation that would cut the cost of buying health insurance for city employees. Then she used her right under the Open Public Meetings Act to present her proposal at the same meeting that her city council members introduced their own ideas. So now you know that you have the legal right to get information that will give you background on the issue that you're interested in. And you also have a legal right to make a presentation to your council at the same time that other council members present. So the next thing is, where do you find the solutions to the issues that you care about? Let me give you Tamara as an example. What she did was she wanted to come with a solution that would cut waste in terms of buying health insurance for city employees. So she went to the Citizens Campaign's website, where there's a menu of dozens of best practice ready-to-adopt laws on all sorts of issues. She picked one, downloaded it from our resource center, and was able to proceed with her proposal. And let me tell you why these best practice ready-to-adopt laws get results. First of all, they're based on evidence. That's why they're called best practices. So if you have a law that has evidence behind its success, you're going to avoid a lot of questions on whether or not it's going to work. You're not proposing a theory. You're proposing a proven practical solution. The other reason they work is that they're in ready-to-adopt legal form. Proposing an idea will cause discussion and delay. Proposing a problem is going to make you a gadfly. But proposing a ready-to-adopt law is going to call for a decision and a vote. Now, there are a lot of places where you can get these ready-to-adopt laws, the first of which I told you is the menu. But if the menu doesn't speak to your issues, there are other places. You can get the laws by Googling another town and seeing if they have a success story and they may have a law. You can go to a university and look in their departments or their websites, and they may have solutions. For example, if your issue is public safety, you could go to the Rutgers Police Institute and you might get a law from them. And lastly, there are nonprofits like the New Jersey League of Municipalities or on the environment, Sustainable Jersey, which have lists of all sorts of laws that you can access and use to make your solution before your town council. But one last thing. These are tight budget times. So when you pick a law, make sure you find one that cuts the cost of government, or at least that you identify a funding source, whether it's grants or whether it's a reallocation from somewhere else in the budget. Okay, so now you know you have the legal rights to be a citizen legislator, and you know where to go to find a ready-to-adopt best practice solution. So the next thing that you need to know is how to present your proposal without getting caught up in the blame game. The blame game is a dead end, and that's why the Citizen Campaign's no-blame strategy is so important. It helps you avoid the partisanship and the debate and bickering that so often stops any good proposal from going any further. Let me tell you how it works. Tamara Marsh used the no-blame strategy like hundreds of other citizen legislators to get success in this simple way. She first went and got the information on her proposal, which, remember, is how to cut the cost of health insurance. And she found out that the city of Camden had a procedure in which they got at least 2 bids for health insurance. So what she did then was built a proposal using the best price insurance ready-to-adopt law that would go for more aggressive competition. But she just didn't come in saying this is the best. She came in first and complimented the city on having competition in its procedures. And she offered to build on their proposal. By furthering their initiative, she got them to listen to her proposal. And that's the charm of the no-blame approach. You're not coming into the city council like citizens so often do to blame your elected officials for inaction. And therefore, they're not defensive. They're more open to your proposal. Now you know your legal rights, you know where to go to find a best practice ready-to-adopt law, and you know how to use the no-blame strategy. So there's only one thing left, and that is to learn how to prepare for your presentation. All you need to do is follow these 10 easy steps. Step 1 is to get the rules and meeting dates for citizen presentation. You need to know the dates and the times, and you need to know the rules that tell you how long each citizen gets to speak. Then you prepare your presentation within the allotted time, pick a date, and if the rules require you to sign up in advance, sign up in advance. Step 2, plan to dress appropriately. You don't need to wear a tux, but dressing respectfully will command respect for your presentation. Step 3, plan to get to the meeting early so you can introduce yourself informally to the city council members and tell them about the subject that you're there to speak on. Being friendly goes a long way. And while you're there, if there's any reporter in the room, make sure you introduce yourself to them and give them a copy of your proposal. Step 4, when your time comes to speak, give the council your name and your address. Thank them for the opportunity to speak before them, and begin by complimenting them on their past actions, and then offer to build on their actions with your ready-to-adopt proposal. Step 5, always remain respectful. Never become argumentative. Even if your council members, for some reason, are not respectful of you, maintain respectfulness, and you'll maintain their focus and the respect of the audience. Step 6, be prepared to present examples of success in other towns which have already adopted your proposal. This will show your elected officials that you're presenting a best practice and not some ideological or theoretical proposal. Tamra cited a number of other towns which had saved millions of dollars on the health insurance proposal that she was making to the City Council, and that's what helped her win adoption. Step 7, be prepared with a fallback plan. For example, if the City Council says that they've already contracted for health insurance and you're presenting a best price insurance proposal like Tamra, then ask them if they'll adopt your proposal for all future contracts. That's called phasing in your proposal. Another kind of fallback is a pilot. In this instance, you might say to them, if they're a little bit concerned about your suggestion, why don't you adopt it for just one contract and see if it works? That's a pilot. Step 8. At the end of your presentation and any questions or discussion with the council members, it's often the case that the council president or the mayor will say, wow, that was a great presentation. Next, you need to be prepared to ask this question: to whom will my proposal be referred, and when can we expect a response before this public body? Step 9, be prepared to follow up. Call your city council members up after the meeting and ask, do they have any other questions about your proposal, and ask them how things are going along. City council members have lots of demands on their time, and being respectfully persistent pays off. And finally, step 10, get a coach. Even the most experienced players need coaching. And so, the Citizens Campaign provides you with free advice from our expert coaches. They'll be available to you from start to finish. They're your biggest cheerleader and perhaps the most valuable resource that we have to offer. Whether you have a question on how to find a best practice law, or how to use an open records request, or how to make your presentation or follow up on it, our coaches are just a phone call or an email away, and they're available from start to finish. So all that's left to say is congratulations, you're now ready to be a citizen legislator. And if you really want our government to work better and cost less, tell your friends about the Citizens Campaign and share this class with them on Facebook. Remember, if all of us together turn our frustration into constructive leadership, our future will be very bright. Thank you.
You can download a written copy of this class from our Resource Center at www.thecitizenscampaign.org. And while you're there, check out our other classes and sign up for access to all our free resources.